But we're also seeing change happen with things like Doge, with the Department of Government Efficiency. And this is something we did want to bring up with you, Professor Hutchison, today, because there's another round of layoffs coming in D.C., and this happens to be at the IRS. This is an organization, an agency that we fought hard against with the Tea Party when they were targeting unfairly conservatives and holding up tax-exempt status to try to silence conservative voices. And they're getting hit starting today with 6,000 upwards of 6,000 layoffs. And those are with probationary period employees, people that are hired but haven't fully accepted the long-term position as of yet. And so that starts there today. And the Commerce Secretary has also said that President Trump's plan is to see the IRS abolished. This is something that at the ACLJ, we did a film years ago called Tax Invasion, which you can see at acljfilms.com. And we had people like Rand Paul, who we've talked about today, Ted Cruz, who you saw in the break video, who all pushed for this very thing.
Ben Carson, Michelle Bachmann,
exactly,
Herman Cain. This movie was made a number of years ago now. You're talking about probably close to 10, if not more, years ago. But it's available. You can watch it for free on ACLJfilms.com.
But they were all pushing for this very idea that the IRS is unfixable in its current state and needs to be abolished. What are your take on what these new moves from the Trump administration seem to be pointing out?
Well, number one, I would say the Trump administration is moving swiftly in the right direction. Most Americans would love to see the termination of the Internal Revenue Service, in part because the Internal Revenue Service has basically employed a large number of individuals who have engaged in arbitrary decision-making. That's number one. Number two, it's important to keep in mind that under the Biden administration, the IRS was poised to grow by an additional 80,000 employees. Number three, the IRS is a year-round operation. And I know some of the news reports are talking about the layoffs of IRS employees during the tax season. But most of the employees that will be terminated work for the small business division of the IRS, and small business people, they pay their taxes generally on a quarterly basis, so they're paying taxes year-round. So any quarter is a tax season for small businesses. So I think at the end of the day, the movement away from the IRS is a welcome development. Lastly, let me make this point, that when the IRS was created, there was a proposal to limit the tax rate to 10%. And members of Congress, they opposed it. Why? Because they saw 10% as being too high. And I think the American people would agree with that sentiment.
Well, and Professor Hutchison, the Congress of old is not the Congress of today, because as we've seen, what's been uncovered is how much Congress and the bureaucracy love to spend that money that comes in from the IRS. So I think you're seeing a lot of changes in Washington, whether it be the announcement of retirement from someone who's been in the Senate for 42 years, all the way to the changes that we're seeing at a rapid pace within the bureaucracy in these agencies, Logan.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we've uncovered that for years. As you said, with ACLJ, we've been a part of sort of the pushback against the IRS for a number of years. And we have been really involved in great ways in the fact of helping reshape how things are taken care of. And there's always conversations, it feels like, every election cycle that they're going to abolish the IRS. They're going to redo the IRS. And the IRS they're going to, and it never seems to happen. We're going to simplify it. But maybe now that you have Elon Musk and Donald Trump, who are willing to take some pretty big swings up front, maybe you will actually have that moment. Because how often have we been told, oh, we're going to move, like you said, to a flat tax, whether you like that or not. I've heard that my whole life. Oh, we're going to move to simplifying. You'll be able to do your taxes on one piece of paper. You're not going to have to hire a whole team of people to make sure that you're in compliance. Look, I'll tell you this. I had a tax return 3 years ago. And when the check came in the mail, I got a letter within the next day or two saying, hey, that amount is wrong. Do not cash that check. 2 years later, I got another letter saying, hey, it's still coming. Just now, this was 2021, I believe, maybe 2022. I just got the readjusted letter. They haven't sent the check yet, saying it was half of what they originally had sent us. So again, this is where it's archaic and it's old. And Harry, hopefully there can be some changes here and we can get involved in it.
I totally agree. And it's really time for the IRS to at least move into the 19th century as opposed to being stuck in the 17th century.
We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Seculo program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.